plan, if you are able to edit your essay before you send it, before you hand it in to your teacher, it will improve your mark a lot. Okay. And then the next sub skill is spell written word accurately. And last but not least is punctuate text appropriately. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is a summary of some basic grammar rules that you should know by now, okay? Because these are the grammar rules that you have been learning since you were in primary school lagi. Okay, so these are some of them, kan? Some of the really important ones. There are 14, 14 ke? 13 eh?
Mm-mm.
13 hexagons, kan? Okay. The 13 hexagons, you have that also on your module page 7,
6.
page 6, okay? With the koala and the seal. Okay, so you just have to go through them and just make sure that you know all of the rules. Okay, so you can self-check lah. Okay, so part mana yang kita masih rasa kita shaky lagi, we can improve on those parts lah. Okay. So we will not be touching everything lah today because we won't have the time to do so. Okay, but this will be good to self-check your grammar knowledge. Okay, some really basic but very important ones because grammar is embedded in every single sentence that we write. Kan? Okay, so sangat-sangat penting lah awak tahu setiap ni. Okay. Okay, and then, okay, another one, I'm sure that Sir has mentioned about the complexity of your sentence structures. Okay, tidaklah bermaksud that every single sentence that you write tu mestilah complex sentence, okay? Tapi, we want you to be able to vary, pelbagaikan, okay? So, you have to mix them up a bit. Okay, bukan macam rojak lah. We need, you know, some of the really good ones, some veggies, some this and that, kan? Okay, barulah essay kita akan jadi very impressive, especially for part 2 dengan part 3. Okay, part 1 yang email tu, it is a simple one kan? Okay, it's a simple one, therefore maybe some simple sentences and compound sentences will actually do. Okay, some students dia tak suka ni simple sentence, compound sentence ni sebab dia kata tak faham macam mana nak tulis sebenarnya. Because this is the common notes that you get. Kan, okay, biasanya kalau korang buka ke, korang cari kat internet ke, cikgu pun biasanya kita akan guna these rules, these formulas. Ada independent clause lah, ayat tergantung lah, ayat lengkap lah. Right, okay. But little do you know sebenarnya, it is very, very easy to write compound sentence, complex sentence, and even compound complex sentences. Okay, so you can just look at the highlighted words ni. The highlighted words are also called as conjunctions or linkers, or also known as subhasive devices lah. Okay, subordinating conjunctions. Okay, so as long as kita ada perkataan-perkataan yang dalam highlight ni, okay, that means we
Oh, how to form kita sebenarnya mungkin guna contohnya ayat simple like I am going, how to form kita sebenarnya mungkin guna contohnya ayat simple like I am going, ni susah. Kita jangan fikir oh it's going to in your module, okay?
or if you prefer
Ni susah. Kita jangan fikir oh it's going to in your module, okay?
or if you prefer helps you to understand, right? Okay, so these are called the conjunctions, the linkers. helps you to understand, right? Okay, so these are called the conjunctions, the linkers. Beza kita link dengan beza kita link dengan buy this gift for you. Buy this gift for you. Then masa korang tulis tu, you may have problems with your ideas. Then masa korang tulis tu, you may have problems with your ideas. Tu korang pun buat lagi poin yang sama. Plan. Okay, many students actually they don't like planning. Tu korang pun buat lagi poin yang sama. Plan. Okay, many students actually they don't like planning.
our first step. Very important, sangat penting nak dapat full mark 5 for content tu, you have to identify the question first, kenal pasti dulu. Okay, step number 2 is to provide elaboration for each answer. Okay, after you know what are the questions, and then you have to think of your plan. What is your answer? Okay, ataupun what are your answers? And then you have to think of the elaboration as well, because only a direct answer wouldn't be enough for you to get a good mark for CA and also for organisation lah. You need to think of that as well. So kena ada satu jawapan, and then kena ada elaboration for each of the point, each of the answer, at least one elaboration, or maybe two. Okay, it depends on your creativity as well, right? Okay, and then step number 3 is to use suitable and accurate vocab relating to the topic. Okay, so this is where the register comes in. This is where you need to think of the communicative achievement. Maksudnya dekat sini, if you're talking for example about e-sport ataupun online game, okay, so you need to think of some good vocabularies ataupun some good words related to the e-sport. Okay, competition for example, okay, gaming, what about the gaming gears, okay, for example. Okay, and then number 4, create some fun details about the recipient to help you illustrate your points. Okay, this is a bonus point. Of course, it would be good, it would be very interesting if you can create make up, maksudnya reka satu kononnya satu maklumat menarik, very fun, interesting tentang the recipient, kawan awak yang hantar email tu kepada awak, to illustrate your point, to make your points sounds better. Okay, alright, so let's look at the question now. Okay, in the module on page 7, we have the question, sample question, right? Wait, I'm showing this on the slide as well. Okay, you received an email from your friend Adam, who is asking for your suggestion. Okay, so Adam is sending this email, has sent this email to us. Okay, hi Hawa, I'm thinking of taking up a new hobby. Do you have any suggestion? What tools or equipment do I need to have? What benefit will I gain? Can't wait for your reply. Bye. Okay, now reply the email to your friend in about 80 words. Okay, like I said earlier, sebab tu saya kata in this email for part 1, the language used would be very straightforward, and we would be able to understand the topic ataupun the question ataupun the task very easily, kan? It's very straightforward. Dia nak minta suggestion, cadangan. Okay, so let's now identify the 3 questions in this email first. Okay, the first one is, okay, I am taking up a new hobby. Okay, so the first question is, do you have any suggestion? Dia nak suggestion of hobby. And then second question that we need to respond to is tools or equipment do I need to have? Maksudnya dia nak tools or equipment. So what is the meaning of tools and equipment? Barang-barang ataupun peralatan, alat-alat untuk hobi tersebut lah. Okay, and then question number 3 is, what benefit can I gain? Will I gain? Dia nak tahu benefit, apa faedah dia pula, apa manfaat dia pula that we can gain by doing the sports. Okay, so can't wait for your reply. Bye. Okay, so now we are, teacher Shafika and I, actually we are promoting this unboxing method because we want to ensure students get a full mark for content. That's the first priority, because it's going to be a waste if you don't get the full mark for content. Okay, so bila kita break down, kita boleh buat in your exercise ataupun when you are doing your homework, awak boleh break down, buat kotak macam ni in this kind of form lah, buat dalam bentuk 4 boxes macam ni. Okay, so question number 1 tadi apa dah? Suggestion of hobby. Okay, question number 2, tools or equipment do I need to have? Okay, and then question number 3 that we need to respond is benefit that I will gain from the hobby. Alright, so let's do this together. You can share your idea in this in-call messages. Share your idea about the suggestion first. The hobby first. Okay, what do we want to suggest to Adam? Okay, anyone? Maybe you have some suggestions. You can unmute and you can talk. It's okay. You can also type your idea, your suggestion. Alright, come. Anis Patricia say gardening. Okay. Nur Anis Elisa exercising. Okay. Tuan Nur Anis picnic. Okay. All right. Okay. So drawing. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. What about the tools now? Okay, if you let's say if we talk about exercising, okay, let's choose exercising here. Okay, the hobby, the suggestion of hobby that we want to suggest to Adam is exercising. Okay, we have decided now exercising. Oh, I did also say travel. Thank you. These are some very good suggestions. I am very surprised now. You are very apa ni, interactive, very active. I like it. Okay. So now we have decided to go with exercising. Okay. So the first bullet is answered already. We have answered exercising. Okay. Now let's think about tools and equipment now. Maybe we can suggest one or two tools or equipments that this person Adam needs to find or to buy in order to exercise, for example. Tapi exercise is too general, right? It's not straightforward. Okay.
Jogging.
No, let's take Khairun Awanis ni, hiking. And ni Ahmad Alif. Okay,
Gardening?
hiking.
What's wrong with gardening?
Okay, teacher said gardening. Teacher wants gardening. But okay, let's go with
You're
gardening.
being biased.
Okay, let's go with gardening.
Okay, let's say kita ambil gardening kan. Okay, girls, let's go with gardening.
Okay.
Okay, so kalau gardening, macam mana nak tulis ni? Okay, kalau gardening, right? Sekejap. Can we like add something? No. Okay. Kita imagine. Okay, kalau kita buat gardening kat sini, kita direct answer would be gardening. Okay, so fun details, perhaps we can say that our friend there, Adam, likes flowers, are into some flowers, or he loves some activities involving nature. Kan kita boleh kata Adam tu nature lover. Elaboration pula, maybe the parents, maybe Adam's mother, we can assume kita boleh buat kan. Adam's mother has a big flower garden, for instance, ataupun has many flowers. Or kita boleh assume that Adam's mother will love it if Adam is into flowers, kan? These ladies love flowers. Okay, and then the second question would be, okay, what tools or equipment? Okay, the direct answer would be, apa tools kita perlu untuk gardening? Okay, paling basic would be the soil, the seed, right? Okay. Terkejut dia dapat jogging. Okay, and then we also need some rake, kan? Kita tahu sebenarnya apa, rake ataupun hoe, kalau besar lagi HOE tu, dia cangkul, not the other hoe. Okay, and we also can find some spade for pots planting, kan. Okay, so ada banyak lah kita boleh letak kat situ. Okay, tapi boleh reflect tak balik dengan what we have mentioned, that you need to give us the good vocabulary, the not daily one lah, not the common ones. Okay, tapi vocabulary that are very specific according to the topic given. So kalau kita cakap gardening, takkanlah kita kata tools tu perkataan yang tak sesuai, like apa yang very basic ones, like watering pun dah specific kan. Okay, perkataan watering. So when you do that, shovel, thank you Faris, very good, shovel. Okay, we can use a shovel. So perkataan macam ni yang korang come up with ni, the shovel, the hoe, the seeds, the pots, the watering can. Okay, these are the words that are going to contribute to some good points lah for your for vocabulary kan. Okay, for O lah, A for L,
language.
For L. Okay. So let's look at, okay, because we can't conteng this one. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, let's have the boys do it.
Okay, so we've done this before with some other group of students. Okay, so this particular student actually suggested play badminton. So bila dia buat this box, okay, suggestion of hobby, dia bagi play badminton. Okay, fun details, this is planning only. So that's why if you look at the sentences, it's not complete. Ianya tak ditulis dalam ayat yang lengkap. So because this is only planning, we just need to write some short sentence, some short ideas only, right? Okay, so play badminton. Fun details, dia relate dekat Adam, dia kata Adam is an active person. Okay, and then elaboration dia kata play twice a week at a local court. Okay, And then for question number 2, tools or equipment. Okay, dia bagi suggestion, racket, shuttlecock and shoes. And then fund details there, because these are very important. So you need to buy from ataupun recommended brands. Fund details there. And then elaboration, dia bagi example of the recommended brands, Yonex or Leaning. Okay. And then question number 3, benefit, faedah tadi ataupun manfaat tadi, right? Okay. Direct answer here for benefit is number 1, improve health. Alright. Fund details dia, shed some kilos. Okay, so maybe dia kata the Adam ni, the person is maybe a bit plump ataupun a bit on the overweight side. Mungkin maksudnya berisi sikit. So dia kononnya macam nak pelly ataupun nak ngusik sebab dia sign dia ni, kawan dia. So dia kata maybe you want to shed some kilos, right? And then elaboration, look better in no time. Okay. So bila lengkap dia buat unboxing method ni, dia isi semua kotak-kotak dalam boxes ni. Okay. Then only he wrote full essay, full email. Okay, so let's right. I, Adam, you are asking the right person. I have been wanting to invite you to play badminton with my friends. We believe it's a great hobby as we can stay active. We play twice a week at a local court. Firstly, you just need to purchase a racket and wear comfortable shoes. Don't worry, we can share the shuttlecocks since they can be quite expensive. Sure, Anis, you can see that, you can look at the question after this, okay? Or you can look at the module as well, okay? I recommend you buy Yonex brand. Playing badminton helps to improve body health and shed some kilos. Furthermore, we will have so much fun playing together. I bet you are going to look forward to looking better in no time. Come and join us. Let me know what you think. How? Okay. All right. So let's look at the question once again because Anis Elisa wants to see the question. Okay. That's the question, Anis. All right. So, hi, Hawa. I'm thinking of taking up a new hobby. Do you have any suggestion? What tools and or equipment do I need to have? What benefit will I gain? Can't wait for your reply. Bye. Okay. This is the question, Anis. Okay. All right. You can screenshot. If you don't have the module, you can screenshot the question for your own practice. All right. And then, okay. Just now I have read the full email from Hawa. Okay. So, bila awak tulis macam ni, examiner akan check. Okay, so the first thing is examiner will check in term of the content. Dia akan tengok dulu, adakah content kandungan email ini menjawab soalan ataupun tidak. Alright, so let's have a look. Okay, the one in green bracket is the content. So it's answering all questions in the previous email from Adam tu. Dia suggestion of hobby, badminton. Tools or equipment, dia bagi racket and comfortable shoes. Okay, so we just need one, so racket. And then improve body health as the benefit. Jadi right away content is being the tasks are being fulfilled. Maksudnya menjawab soalan yang diminta oleh Adam. So right away content dapat 5 marks. Alright. And then in terms of communicative achievement. Okay. So in terms of communicative achievement, remember this is an email. Ini adalah email. So we are writing to our friends. We need to use informal ataupun friendly tone in our email to make it sound like a real, make it sound realistic lah, because this is an email, right? So kita highlight the one highlighted in red adalah contoh-contoh informal ataupun friendly tone that we can use in our email writing. You are asking the right person, contohnya. Okay, we can start right away in this email just by saying this, because normally in the previous email ataupun dalam email yang kononnya dihantar kepada awak tu, dia akan minta kita respon dan beri beberapa soalan atau beri beberapa jawapan ataupun cadangan. Okay, so you can start right away by saying you are asking the right person. Boleh memorize ayat ni. Okay, sebab memang sesuai digunakan. Okay, and then lagi don't worry. Don't worry, dia guna contraction, pemendekkan situ. Dia tak eja penuh, dia tak tulis do not worry. Dia tulis don't worry. And it's okay for email. It's not going to be penalized. Dia tak akan potong markah. Okay, and then I bet. Come and join us. Let me know what you think. So these are all informal ataupun friendly tone that is going to be very good for email writing. Okay. So after that kita tengok cohesive devices and linking words pula. So For this email, dia guna as, and then ada firstly, that is sequential. Lepas tu ada and, conjunction, since, and furthermore. So untuk email, ada sikit-sikit macam ni pun sudah cukup untuk dapat 5 mark for organisation. So tadi content dah 5 marks, communicative achievement also 5 mark, and then in terms of organisation also 5 marks. So last but not least is in terms of language. Okay, language, there is no problem here in this email. It is very straightforward, and in fact it can be shorter than this. You will still get 5 mark for language. So total is 20 marks for this sample. Maksudnya very easy sebenarnya. Sebab tu saya kata put aside the mindset bahawa writing is very difficult, bahawa writing is going to be challenging. No, because by writing this way, you are already scoring full mark for part 1. Okay, remember, because part 1 is the most easy, it's the easiest part. Okay, it's the easiest part in the whole writing paper 2 ni. So that's why you write simple like this, ada sikit cohesive devices, ada sikit informal friendly tone, and by responding to all the tasks, you can get 5 mark for content already. And then by reducing ataupun limiting ataupun kurangkan the number of vocabulary mistake, grammar mistake in your email, you can get 5 for part 1. Very easy, very simple, right? Okay, so for those who have the module, you can actually take note from this slide and fill in your module. Okay, screenshot dulu, and then later you can fill in your module, the unboxing method on page 7. Okay, page 7, and then you can write your own email later on. Dekat bawah tu ada garis-garis tu. Okay, that's for you to write your email. Alright. And then in the module, you also have another question in the module from Marisa. Okay, Marisa sent an email to Daniel asking about sports club. Okay, that one you can do with your teacher, ataupun you can do on your own first, and then ask your teacher. Boleh minta teacher untuk tanda, untuk bagi markah, untuk check lah. Okay, so that one is on page 8. Okay, alright, so back to the slide. Okay, since this part 1 is an informal writing, contractions are allowed. Okay, like I said earlier, boleh guna contraction, don't, can't just now. Tapi kita tak dibenarkan untuk guna SMS word, macam contohnya OMG, FYI, BRB, okay, gonna, wacha, wana, semua tu. Okay, that's not going to be accepted, ataupun we shouldn't use that in our email lah. Alright, and then you should include friendly expressions to score higher mark for CA, communicative achievement. Okay, let's brainstorm together. Okay, this is also on in your module on page 8. Okay, but let's brainstorm together. What are some friendly expressions you can use to start something, to convince your friend, to start your email, to convince your friend, and to end the email? Okay, just now dalam email tadi dia ada dah, you are asking the right person. Okay, that's the first way, ataupun one of the way to start your email. Okay, what are other ways? Friendly. Okay, come, let's do it together. Let's brainstorm. You can share in this chat box.
Tunjuklah soalan Anis.
Tunjuklah ke Anis. Okay. What are some other ways to start an email? Yang friendly. Kita nak yang friendly. Anyone would like to share, to say something? Because you need to complete the module later on. Okay. If you have no ideas ataupun no suggestion, saya akan share right away. But from that, kita akan dapatkan lagi suggestion ataupun responses from you guys. Okay, so let's try. Okay, let's look at the slide. Okay, so we have included here some suggestions. Okay, to start an email, kita boleh start right away. That is a wonderful idea. Ataupun I'm glad you brought this up. I am very glad that you asked me that, contohnya. Okay, but of course, all of these expressions will depend on the topic. Okay, sesuai ataupun tidak bergantung kepada topik tu. Okay, and then when you want to convince, because you are giving a suggestion to your friend, so of course you want to convince your friend to follow your suggestion, right? So maybe we can use these kind of expressions. For example, I bet, I believe, I'm sure, I'm certain, ataupun I know by heart that you will like this activity contohnya. Or maybe you can even say you have to trust me when I say this, or believe me, you will. All right. And then last but not least, in order to end our email, maybe we can say something like, I think that's all for now. Bye. Ataupun bye for now. Stay safe. Keep in touch. Take care. Bye. Update me later. See you soon. Can't wait to hear about it. Bye for now. Okay. So these all can be memorized. Maksudnya you can start by memorizing these expressions, these friendly expressions. And then next, bila teacher bagi homework, bila teacher bagi exercises, try to use these kind of expressions in your email. Mesti teacher terkejut. Wow, very good. Now my students can use some very good friendly expressions dah. Okay, so start by memorizing. It's fine. It's fine because once you get you get the hang of it ataupun once you get used to it, awak akan boleh pilih pula. Okay, this is more appropriate. I think this is more suitable in this email because this email is about this and this and this. Okay, so start by memorizing. Of course, that's where we start. Okay, right. Okay, you can screenshot this and then you can fill in the blanks in your module later on. Okay, for those who don't have the module yet, maybe you can ask your teacher for it after this because I think most teachers have gotten the modules already. Okay, all right. So that's about it for part 1. Let's go to part 2.
Okay, for part 2 now. Okay, ingat, we have 3 different parts and then the level of difficulty changes and increases as you move on from part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay, tadi level beginner. Kan? Okay, sekarang ni kita level up sikit. Lepas ni baru level boss. Okay, tapi still remember that because we talked to you about the 4 aspects, the C, CA, O and L tadi. Patutnya you are not worried much dah lah sebab you know already that the 4 aspects that you have to deliver for every single part tu awak tahu dah, awak tahu semua dah, habis dah teacher rasa bagi tahu belakang pasal C, CA, O dengan L. Okay, so samalah for part 1 kita bagi C, CA, O, L saat ni. Part 2 dengan part 3 pun sama juga, cuma we will be giving even more. Okay, sebab level lagi tinggi. Okay, so sama lah bila main game kan. Okay, bila dah next level tu mesti lagi challenging and then you need more ammos or bullets or weapons kan. Okay, so it's the same concept. Okay, for part 2. Okay, if part 1 was an email writing, a really informal message, okay, part 2 is more formal. Okay, walaupun dia tak ada format specific that you have to follow, it looks like a free writing tanpa format, but you should be writing with more formal language. Kalau tadi tu friendly kan, okay, we want to sound friendly, we want our friends to be able to understand our points and whatnot kan. Okay, but this time around, okay, it's more formal in a way that no contractions are allowed. So tadi kita boleh tulis I'm, boleh tulis she's, boleh tulis it's instead of tulis it is satu-satu. Okay, this time around kita tak boleh buat macam tu. Okay, we have to spell every single word by itself. From now on, part 2 dan part 3 kena every single word spelled individually. Okay, for part 2. If you remember your speaking question, it looks quite similar to the second part. Dia akan bagi awak 3 bullets to answer. So you will be given a topic and then you will be given some guide. Okay, 3 bullet points to develop your ideas from. Okay, so let's look at this one first. Okay, the tips is to identify the tenses you should use. Kenapa kena identify? Sebab there is a high chance that you are allowed to write with a mix of tenses. Maksudnya bukanlah past tense tak, past tense semuanya. Okay, sebabnya most likely because there are 3 bullet points, the 3 bullet points are going to ask you to write about 3 different things. Okay, tapi for sure, okay, one of the points will want you to give some opinions kan, pendapat awak or your suggestion. Bila kita bagi opinion and suggestion, of course we will be using present tense. Okay, tapi kalau first point tu dia minta pasal your experience, for instance kan, Okay, so we have to use past tense lah for the first question. So it depends. So it is important that you look at every single bullet point properly supaya awak tak salah faham. Okay? Okay, and then identify the questions you need to address. Senang je sebab dia ada bullet point 1, 2, 3. Okay, but then jot down the direct answer on the paper. Kena ingat lah. Kalau tak, sebab kita nak buat planning, right? Okay, kalau kita dah plan, then we will not miss any answers. Okay, so remember to always plan. Okay, so I talk about this one. There is no format, and then it's a guided writing. So you will be given some points, other points. So janganlah susah hati tak tahu nak tulis apa. Okay, you will be informed about what to write. Okay, and then topic is familiar and relatable. The topics, even for part 3, the hardest, will always be about something that you can relate to. Okay, contohnya about favorite food, about some cultural event or a school program. Okay, so semua orang, okay, from the first class until the last class, semua orang akan tahu nak tulis apa. Bukannya akan, sebab the LPM, dia tak nak ada isu orang tak tahu lah, tak ada idea lah nak tulis apa, this and that. Okay, semua orang akan boleh jawab. So we will only be looking at your language sahaja. Okay, so because the topics are familiar and relatable, for instance talking about a school program or maybe a family event. Bila family event kita boleh cakap pasal birthday, pasal wedding, pasal baby shower and whatnot kan. The problem here is that you write too much. Sebab you are too happy that you know what to write about. Okay, so again, planning is super important so that we know how to control what we write. Okay, and then remember that you will have to give reasons. Okay, for writing part 1, part 2 and part 3, it is LPM's aim, target dia nak suruh semua orang tahu nak bagi reason macam mana. So it is very important that you justify yourself. Kalau kita bagi suggestion tadi, what the first one tu, part 1, kenapa kita nak suruh badminton? Okay, sebab the active. So things like that. Okay? Okay. So let's look at the question. Okay, you can look at the question on page 9 of your module. Okay, writing part 2, question, page 9. Okay, the question looks like this for those who don't have a module. Your class has been discussing the importance of friendship. You have to write an essay about how you value friendship. In your essay, you should write about your best friend. Okay, that's the bullet point number 1, your best friend. Second is why people need friends in life. And then the third one is how you should treat your friends. Okay, so write your essay using all the notes and give reasons for your point of view. Sebab dia kata using all the notes kena guna belakang lah, all 3 points. Then only kalau awak jawab 3 ni, you will be given the 5 marks for content. Okay, ingat tau. Okay, so kita pun masa mula-mula kan teacher kata mesti always plan before you write, right? Okay, so other than planning the content, okay, the answer for each point ni, okay, what else do we need to do? We will be listing down some words. Okay, contohnya adjectives and expressions because they are the easiest to do related to the topic. Okay, topic for this one is friendship, right? Okay, so perkataan apa yang datang kat kepala korang when you see the question asking you to write an essay about friendship? Perkataan apa? Contohnya nama lain untuk best friend, another term or perhaps a verb yang power-power yang related betul-betul untuk friendship. Do you have any ideas? You can write your suggestions in the chat. Semua kita sebut best friend kan? Okay, selain best friend, apa lagi teacher boleh guna? Okay, maybe you know some idioms as well. So you can use them, you can write them. On your module pun ada juga page 9, the box there. Okay, bestie. Okay, kita ada bestie tapi bestie tu informal lah, okay? Okay, lagi. Other than that, true friend, correct. Lagi, fake friend. Okay, tapi dia suruh pasal best friend, Ama. Takkanlah best friend kita fake friend. Okay. Bolehlah guna untuk bawa-bawa question bawa-bawa tu. Okay, lagi. Good friend. Lagi apa lagi? Perkataan lain yang sesuai untuk guna untuk soalan-soalan lain. Close friends, very good. A friend in need is a friend indeed, very good. Cliche kan, tapi sebab sesuai sangat dengan topik ni, it is okay. Friends forever. Lagi? Boyfriend. Okay, boyfriend kita ambil lah. Kita okay, friend zone. Buddy, thank you. Okay, buddy. Lagi apa lagi? Ada banyak kan. Member tu dah slang lah sikit. Jadi a bit informal like bestie tadi. Okay, mate. Dog tu kita tak guna lah. Kalau guna tu teacher garis tu. Okay, so as long as you can come up, tak adalah setiap kali kita duduk ulang friend lagi pula, friend lagi again and again. Soulmate tu boleh lah tu. Okay, mula-mula kawan, lepas tu kahwin kan. Okay, boon companions, thank you, okay, very good. Okay, so I also have a few suggestions here, okay, which you can simply tulis lah yang ni, tak payahlah screenshot sikit je. Okay, so choose a few that you like. Okay, so I have some samples of another name for best friend. Okay, so I ada my best buddy, I have bosom friends, apa lagi yang sesuai untuk orang tu kan. Okay, and then kita tukar. Okay, and then some idioms. Okay, the blue lines are the idioms. Yeah, I have two peas in a pod and a friend in need is a friend indeed. And then I have true, thick and thin. I have a shoulder to cry on. And also on the same page. Also hit it off actually. Hit it off ni kind of expressions as well. Tapi I want to categorize that into verbs. Kita akan guna ni sebagai verbs. Hit it off, treasure, go way back, and also be friend. Okay. If you see up here also, I have a lot of adjectives. Treasure tu bukan, ni treasure lain ya. Treasure ni bukan harta karun juga. Treasure yang ni adalah a verb meaning another word for appreciate. Okay, so yang teacher garis kuning ni, okay, some adjectives. It is the easiest way to impress people with. Okay, so use some adjectives. Tak adalah kita asyik guna my friend is kind, my friend is good, my friend is cute. Duk ulang hak tu long. Okay, so change a bit to something that is more impressive. Something yang kita biasanya tak guna in our daily conversation. But betul dah guna tu, cuma kita tak guna untuk direct ni. Okay, untuk direct conversations. Okay, so contohnya reliable, kind-hearted, appreciative and whatnot. Okay, dia dah lari topik dia tu. Okay, next. Okay, so these are the 3 questions that we have to answer. Your best friend, that's the first one. So and then why people need friends in life and how you should treat your friends. Ada 3 questions, right? Okay, so paling senang, okay, walaupun there is no definite say, korang kena buat berapa paragraph. There is no such guideline. Kena buat 5 wajib. Kalau lebih salah, kurang salah. There is no such thing. Okay, so we can just add an introduction and a closing as the first and the last paragraph. And then the second, the third and the fourth paragraph, the content paragraph EC will consist of 1 question each. So your best friend masuklah dekat the second paragraph. Why people need friends, the third paragraph, and we to treat friends in the fourth paragraph. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, second, third and fourth. So jadilah 5 yang cantik. Okay, alright. So I have some suggestions. We have to go a bit fast but we have to cover speaking pula. Okay, so there this is my suggestion. Okay, so I decide, okay, nampak tak teacher bagi 2 reasons here. I give 2 reasons. Actually, it is enough with just 1. Okay, tapi some students kan, okay, bila dia ada 1 point je nak cerita for 1 paragraph, they sometimes tend to be very unnecessarily elaborate. Dia tak tahu nak cakap apa dah, dia pun main goreng sampai dah lari terlalu jauh. So that is not good. Okay, so it is better that you give two reasons, and satu reason, satu ayat, and then satu elaboration, and then the next reason, another sentence, and another sentence for elaboration. 4 sentence, perfect, concise. Instead of awak tulis 5 sentence based on 1 point sahaja. Lepas tu dah melalut-lalut, in fact you give examples yang unnecessary and whatnot. That is not good. That will disrupt your content and your CA mark. Okay, so it's better to give 2 reasons than just 1 reason yang panjang berjela sangat. Okay? Okay, so I have some ideas here, and as you can see my plan quite simple. Pendek-pendek je ayat dia kan, sebab kita tak nak habiskan masa banyak kat sini. I just want to have some ideas. Okay, apa nak tulis for paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4 and whatnot. So that bila teacher start tulis essay, teacher tak adalah duk mikir, I stop and I think again and again. Okay? Okay, so this is a sample of essay based on the plan tadi. Okay, so you can just take a screenshot of this. The words I highlight in green are the pronouns, the substitutions, okay, the reference pronouns. So yang hijau dengan kuning ni yang akan contribute to my marks for organisation sana. Oh, dan sebab ada benda-benda yang kita colour ni, this will also give a good mark for your L language. Sebab with these words, your sentences will become complex and compound sentences. Okay, so bukan je kat O, tapi kat L pun dia akan contribute marks. Dan bila awak punya O bagus, organisation awak bagus, your CA mark will also be good as well. Sebab it is easy to understand. Okay, so penting sangat you know how to link your ideas with these link words. Okay, so my point to show you this is quite long for part 2 sebab you are supposed to write 125 to 150 only. Okay, tapi teacher tulis kat sini 300. Okay, so kalau korang memang cikgu korang kata okay tak apa awak tulis panjang pun tak apa sebab awak punya language sangat bagus, tu tak apa, tapi jangan korang yang syok sendiri, awak kena tulis panjang ni and this and that. Okay, we don't want that attitude. Okay, so this is another sample answer based on your module. There's another in your module tu ada second question on page 10. Okay, so this would be the sample answer for that question, and the length of the essay is just 170 words. Maksudnya just enough, tidak terlalu panjang macam tadi. Yet the long one tadi and this short one both deserve full mark, 20 out of 20. So I want to tell you here that it's not whether you write a long essay atau pendek. Okay, it's the matter of the quality of your essay, bukannya the quantity of your words. Okay, so jangan duk stress tengok orang lain tulis panjang, korang pun tulis panjang juga. Okay, bukan semestinya siapa tulis panjang maka akan tinggi. Okay, so change that understanding. Okay, for part 3.
Alright, for part 3, okay, when it comes to part 3 in this writing paper, paper 2, the first step to do is of course to choose well. Okay, because you have 3 choices, ada 3 pilihan. So you have to really choose well, decide on the question that you want to answer really well. Maksudnya di sini, you have to think and consider the points that you have for each of the question first. Masa nak pilih tu, kena tengok, bukan sahaja tengok, oh topik ni macam interesting, so let's write this one. No, you have to think of the point first. Okay, kita kena tengok, okay, boleh hurai macam ni, boleh hurai macam ni, and then I can talk about this as well. Okay, let's choose this part. Okay, then only you start with your planning. Okay, because masa planning tu, when you develop your ideas, write the ideas in chunks ataupun in some bullet form lah, not in the full sentences. Okay, why is it important to plan for part 3? Because normally masa planning for part 3 ni, you will realize that you have limited ideas ataupun not enough ideas. So maybe it's still a good idea untuk tukar buat soalan lain. Okay, kalau awak terus jawab, awak terus tulis, mungkin dah sampai perenggan ketiga ataupun dah sampai perenggan keempat, then only you feel like, oh, I should have changed tak ada idea dah. I don't know how to continue my essay. Okay, so that's why we have to start with planning. Sebab planning tu akan bantu kita untuk tahu whether or not we have enough points or not for this question. Alright. Okay, so like I said, there are 4 formats. Okay, mungkin ada yang belum tahu, so saya akan share dengan anda semua. The first one would be story. Okay, story. If you are writing a story, it should contain a setting. Mesti ada setting. Mesti ada perjalanan cerita. Okay, and then you need to think of some characters as well. Kalau dah dinyatakan dalam soalan, contohnya in your story you have to include, for example, an old woman, a policeman contohnya, you have to include that in your story lah. Kalau tak dinyatakan, you have to think of the ideas, the characters that you want to include in the story as well. And then for writing a story, it is going to be very good to include some adjectives to help you illustrate the storyline better. Okay, and then other than story, we also have review. Review ni menjadi pilihan ramai student-student, especially my own students, because they feel that review is a good question to write about, to write on. Okay, because kat review you have to write an apa ni dalam bahasa Melayu dia sebut apa? Ulasan. Okay, satu ulasan. Review is ulasan in Malay. So you have to write some review about maybe books, a movie for example, or a place, okay, depending on the question. And then to tell you the truth, for this review, it will not be specific. Maksudnya dia tak akan tulis contohnya write a review about Harry Potter book. No, dia akan tulis write a review about a book that you have read. So it can be any book. Sebab tu saya kata ramai student take advantage on this review ni. Sebab it can be any book. So kita boleh reka satu buku yang mungkin tak ada pun dalam dunia ni, tak wujud pun, tapi the idea comes from a movie that you have watched, for example. You can change it, transform it to a book, for example. Okay, and then the review is up to you. It can be written in a positive way ataupun in negative way. Contohnya, if you don't like the book, contohnya you can say that you don't like the book, politely lah. Ataupun if you really like the book, you have to say you can say that you really like the book. Okay. And then next we have article. Article, it has a format. Okay, the first one would be the title, and then under the title you should write your byline lah, the author, your name as the author. Okay, and then the rest is the same as a format biasa article lah. Ada perenggan dia. Then for paragraph 1 normally is for to grasp the attention of the readers and also to understand the main question. Okay, and then last one, we have report. Okay, for report writing, it's quite interesting this time around, because report is quite different if compared to the previous report that I have taught my old students lah. Dulu senior awak semua dulu, diorang belajar report dalam bentuk lain. Normally report sebelum-sebelum ni will be talking about something that has happened, but this time around report sounds more like a proposal. Maksudnya awak perlu tulis report kepada principal ataupun kepada your teacher advisor, and include some suggestion of perhaps activities that you can include during a program ke contohnya. Okay, and then the format mesti ada to, from and subject, and after that ada subheading for each of the paragraphs. Okay, subheading tu apa? Subheading tu adalah tajuk kecil bagi setiap perenggan tu. Maksudnya satu perenggan tu spesifik untuk subheading tu saja, spesifik untuk tajuk tu saja. Okay, alright, so let's look at writing a story. Okay, you can refer, if you have the module, you can refer this on your page 12 and the rest lah, page 12 in your module. Okay, so writing a story, like we said, decide your characters and settings. Mesti ada, fikirkan terus berapa watak I should include in my story, and then apa latar tempat dia contohnya, ataupun latar masa dia contohnya. Okay, and then remember, when writing a story, normally it is in past tense, kan, because it is something in the past, sorry, that has happened. Okay, and decide on a plot. Don't go overboard with too much conflicts. Okay, so percaya, most of our students, you guys here lah in this group, actually you have a lot of ideas. So sometimes when writing a story, you tend to include more than one conflict. Sometimes ada banyak sangat, 3-4 konflik dalam satu cerita. So it feels like reading a sinetron ataupun watching a sinetron kan, lepas satu masalah. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, buat satu perjalanan cerita yang simple, yang ada daripada permulaan dia, climax dia, penurunan dia, and then the ending. Okay, the curve like that. Okay, and then adjectives and include minimal dialogue. Maksudnya the dialogue that you want to include in your story ni mestilah purposeful. Tak boleh semua benda dalam bentuk dialog sebab this is a story. So dialog boleh ditulis dengan pengikat kata kan. Okay, so let's look at the sample question. Alright. Your teacher has asked you to write a story for the school magazine. The story must have this title, My Embarrassing Experience. Okay. Your story should include a recount of the experience and then what lessons you have learned from the experience. Write your story. Okay. So when reading the question, it is very important to pay attention. Perhatikan betul-betul the bullet point tu. Kita tengok yang pertama mesti ada, dia kata a recount of the experience. So mesti cerita secara ringkas apa yang terjadi masa pengalaman tu. Okay, recount ni. Okay. Alright, and then what lessons you have learned from the experience. Okay, tengok lessons. Lesson tu ada S, maksudnya more than one lesson. Should be more than one lessons. We have to pay attention to this in order to get full marks for content. Okay, bila faham apa yang dikehendaki oleh soalan, we can actually write better and get good marks for content. Alright, so